I hate my computer. I just want everybody to know that. I hate my computer. I genuinely hate this wretched mouse on a treadmill eating sour cheese piece of crap computer. Ugh. Just when I've got everything set up just the way I want it, StreamYard does something funky, and then I've got to reboot the whole computer, risk everything I've lost, and hold my breath and pray to God that it all comes back up again. Oh my God. Anyway, hello out there in internet land. My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative. Welcome to Chattin on the Porch. Yes, TBA, I am having technical issues. So we're here. We are doing our thing. We're bringing it to you personally, or however that song goes. We are on Rumble, we are on Twitter, and we are on that quaint little alternative social media platform known as YouTube. So please help a brother out. Subscribe to my channel. Help me start, doing whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing to make this cheap surplus Ukrainian equipment such that I don't have to use cheap surplus Ukrainian equipment. I can buy American. Oh, goodness. Crazy night indeed. Anyway, glad you guys are here. We'll be checking in with who all's in the house here momentarily. Glad to have you all here. Again, my name is Brian Trippett, and I am tech worn out. What can I tell you? Anyway, we're on Rumble. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube. So thank you for being here tonight. I am not going to lie, kids. I am pooped. Last night was a very late night. I wound up getting to bed very late. Reminded me of my misspent 20s and early 30s when I was gallivanting about at hours of the night where I should not have been. So yeah, I wound up going to bed early in the morning, but late at night for me. And lo and behold, here we are, and here I am. But we are going to power through this thing because I am just that kind of a host. Anyway, glad to have you guys here with me tonight. Let's see who all is in the house so far. Yeah, we're going to get into some of that fallout. And I tell you what, Gypsy, this has got to be one of the most fascinating things I have ever seen post-presidential debate that's happening, which we'll get into some of that here in a moment. Good evening, my fabulous co-host, Ms. Tracy Barkley, ladies and gentlemen, from Gen X Marks the Spot. Please subscribe to her channel. She is a doll, a sweetheart. She's too good for this world. We don't deserve to have her. Subscribe to her channel. Yeah. I need to stop. It's reaching the point when the gallivanting starts hurting more than the fun you're supposed to be having. Okay, it's time to lay out the gallivanting. Who else is here tonight? Well, hello, SD. Glad to have you here. Trump was right about the Haitians. It's unfortunate that the media uses his soundbite to make fun of him instead of bringing light to the serious situation. We're going to get into that. We got some of that. All right, who all's over on Rumble? Are the Wingnuts here? Yes, they're here. WWG1, good evening all. TBA's like Fedora Nation, hello. Smash the like button. Yes, by all means, hit that like button, daggone it. Let's see. Garbage is out. Beers are ice cold. Everything's perfect. Age and wisdom. Yes, TBA, age and wisdom. My only problem is I have age. I'm not so totally sure I have wisdom. So there you go. All right. So good to have you guys here with us tonight. And I'm going to change up the order of which I do things just ever so slightly, if for no other reason to kind of acknowledge the date on the calendar. And I would be terribly remiss if I did not do that. But before I do, I have got to show you guys something that is absolutely precious and kind of goes in, I guess, to what we're talking about here today. I have got to show you guys a video. And I found this a little bit earlier. And I don't know. I guess for me, it kind of ties into what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about 9/11. And the video I've got here is as a gentleman who's in the Air Force. And apparently they have something of a tradition that if a man in the Air Force is standing at attention, he cannot break attention until someone taps him on the shoulder. Well, with that in mind, folks, you want to see something precious and just absolutely just really heartwarming? Watch this. There's the Navy tap. Isn't that precious? I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. That's man comes home from being deployed. He's standing there at full attention and he sees his wife and his child coming toward him and he can't. Well, okay. WWG1's giving me a clarification. That is not attention. It's known as parade rest. But it's the same concept. Thank you, WWG1. I appreciate that. Yeah, there he is. He's standing there at parade rest. He cannot make a move until someone taps him on the shoulder. And his wife or girlfriend or whatever she is to him walks up, and the baby kind of reaches out its tiny little hand and taps him on the shoulders. And, oof, man, that's just, damn. I'm not. I like to think that I'm a rough and tough kind of guy, but you watch that kind of stuff, and I'm sorry if tears don't come up in your eyes, you just ain't got a heart. I'm sorry, you just don't. And that video kind of leads me to, I guess, our first subject of the night, and 9/11. It's a beautiful picture of the Twin Towers. I got a story that as it relates to the Twin Towers, and I won't go into the whole detail of it, but about it would have been 23 years ago, a little over 23 years ago. My sister's family and my mom and I were taking a nose of the car vacation. And for us, a nose of the car vacation basically means we have no idea where we're going. Whichever way the nose of the car is, that's where we're driving. And it started out that we wanted to make a run over to Williamsburg, Virginia, which we did. Then we just got a wild hair and said, let's just go up the East Coast. So we went up through Virginia and District of Columbia, Delaware, Philadelphia, and we overnighted in Philly. And the next day we kind of hobnobbed around Philly. And then we were trying to find a way to go see the Statue of Liberty. Well, I won't go into the whole story of what happened, but it didn't work out. And as we're driving along the east side of Manhattan, I looked out the car window, and there were the Twin Towers. It was July 11th, 2001. 2 months to the day. For me, I will never, ever, ever forget where I was on September 11th. I was working at a job in a call center. I had a 9-to-5 shift. And I'd gotten to work at my normal hour of the day. Fine. And I was taking a phone call from a client who had called in to check on their account. And I answered her questions. No problem. And as we wrapped it up, she said, "Isn't it terrible what happened in New York City?" I said, "Well, ma'am, unfortunately, I don't know what you're talking about. I've sort of been in the office all morning. I haven't had access to a television." She said, "Yeah, an airplane crashed into one of the Twin Towers." And I went, oh my, that is bad. So I hung up the phone and I turned, and a buddy of mine, Marty, was walking in. And I looked at her and I said, Marty, what's this about New York City? What the hell's going on? She's like, Brian, two 747s have gone into the Twin Towers in New York City. One of them is one's collapsed, and I don't think the other one had collapsed yet. She said one of them has collapsed. The other one, we don't know what's going on with it. It might collapse. It might not. She said, but the last thing she said was, we are under attack. And I started looking around the floor and started realizing that supervisors and managers were going in and out of meetings. All hell was breaking loose. We had no idea what was going on. Rumors were flying around about another airplane hitting the Pentagon. Something was an airplane possibly going over where we were located in West Virginia, which ultimately wound up being the plane that went down in Pennsylvania. At about 5 o'clock that evening, I went home, gathered around with my family. We sat around a television set and watched President Bush deliver remarks to the nation. And you know me, I mean, even back then I was a news hound. I was trying to gather up every piece of information that I possibly could, or at least what I knew to gather up at that point. And my world, your world, and everybody else's world in the United States absolutely changed forever on that day. And yeah, I mean, share some stories. Tell me what you guys were doing on 9/11. I mean, here's Tracy's story. I worked at a small pharmacy as a technician. Pharmacist was elderly and would sleep between prescriptions. It happened. It came on the TV. I woke him up, and at first he thought it was a joke. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. How do you forget something like that? I get it. I was in Spain. I got a phone call from with friends. One got up. We had no idea. I called my dad, told me what was happening, and he said, "You might." Oh God. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. In the days that followed, no one knew what was going to happen. Nobody. And anybody that told you they knew what was going to happen, you looked at them and said, "You're full of shit." When I say that the world changed forever, there are children being born now and have been born after 9/11 that will never know the nation that a lot of us remember pre 9/11. WWG1 says, Patriot Act was already written, ready to be passed. And yeah. We now have the Patriot Act. We now have a surveillance state that listens to our phone calls and monitors our emails. We now have tech censorship. We have a government that is intrusive into our lives. We can't go through an airport in the same way again. We now have an entirely new bureaucratic arm of the federal government, the Department of Homeland Security. We have the Transportation Safety Administration. We got facial recognition. You got TBS. That's a good point. Facial recognition. Oh yeah, and this is, to me, everybody talks about the Bruce Springsteen song called "The Rising." To me, the song that defined that moment was Alan Jackson's "Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning." And I'm not sitting here trying to bust on Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen's a great artist. But that song by Alan Jackson, if you've never heard it, go out on YouTube and listen to it. He performed it live, and I believe it was the CMAs. And just the haunting vulnerability in Alan Jackson's voice was just extraordinary. And then you listen to the lyrics, and it was just, oh man. Yeah. We just got back from a trip to LA 1 week prior, and all my mom could ask was, what if you'd been on? Oh, wow. WWG1 says, I remember when you could smoke on an airplane. People during this century could never understand the world we used to live in. Exactly. Exactly. Another great song, The Angry American, brought to you courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. I mean, we should mourn those that we lost. I don't dispute that at all. Some of them died with the most noble of sacrifice. As a matter of fact, if you want to know, and I'm not trying to, if you really want to get a feel for how the world started to change, give me a sound check on this. Let me know if you guys can hear everything. But just check this out.
Did we get on that? I had one.
Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. Oof. Oh my God. Heard about the first plane on the news running to the bank. Second one on TV when I got home. I had to be at work at 10 a.m. Yeah. Yeah. Up in Connecticut, I am so sorry. Please give your daughter my condolences, if nothing else. Oh, yeah. And this is true, too. This is absolutely true. You know, people say that we shouldn't look at the clips of what happened on that day. I disagree. I don't want to necessarily dwell on it, but I want to be reminded. So hopefully we don't screw it up and something like that ever happens again. Sometimes I wonder if all the good lessons we should have learned just get forgotten, and we just focus so much on all the stuff we've got now. There was a brief moment of national unity. Police officers in New York City, firefighters in New York City, they were recognized as heroes. 20 years later, they're beaten, they're spat upon. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. We lost a lot on that day. Yeah, WWG1's like, yeah, New York City cops and firefighters, they're like Vietnam vets coming home. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and I apologize, folks. I'm not trying to bring down the room, but I mean, let's be honest. It's probably one of the most sobering subjects you can ever get into. We lost so much on that day. We lost so much on the days after. Will we ever get the world back the way we had it before 9/11? No idea. To be perfectly honest, I kind of doubt it. Zippy over on Rumble with a Rumble rant, and thank you very much for that one, sir. 9/11 learning moment. We are still funding wars in the Middle East, and now Ukraine. Humans never learn. Good point. Good point. Wow. Oh yeah. Yeah. And Midmo and Gypsy, I'm seeing the comments about Marshawn. I'm not ignoring him. I'm just, if you got something, send it to me, because this I really want to see. We'll get on that subject a little later. Yeah, I just, yeah, in the hustle and the bustle and the rush that is our lives, you know, sometimes you just gotta take a moment and just remember it was more than a day. There were people involved. I mean, I think one of the most there's all kinds of haunting images from that day, but here's one that really just, this was a voicemail message from somebody on flight 175. Hey Jules, it's Brian. Listen, I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. If things don't go well and they're not looking good, I want you to know I absolutely love you. I want you to do good, have good times, staying with my parents. I'll see you when you get here. I want you to know that I totally love you. Bye, babe. Hope I will call you. That's a guy named Brian Sweeney. The last message, the last words he ever said to his wife. For my part, here in my little corner of the world, there was a young doctor named his name was Dr. Paul Ambrose. Went to high school here, graduated medical school here at Marshall University, was working in D.C., etc., and gone on 9/11. That young man was an up-and-comer in our community. He was already somebody, but he had the energy and the talent and the light that, had he lived, that young man, Paul Ambrose, would have gone on to do extraordinary things. His parents are still heavily involved here in the Huntington community, and they still take time on 9/11 to remember his passing. So yeah. I may have seen it as we were driving through New York City, but I can't say that I've ever actually been to it. So, well, and this gets into another question. How should we be in the world? What should our presence be? I think that's a fair question to ask on 9/11. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and I remember those. I remember. Hundreds of feet up in the air above the concrete in the streets, and in their desperation to try to survive and live, they just jumped. Yeah. Just incredible. Just incredible. Some of today's the clips I've got from today's events in New York City and other places, I'll save till we get a little bit further into the show, because this moment right now just needs to be about 9/11 and nothing else. Just taking some time to remember what we lost, who we lost, and just kind of reflect on what it's all about. So yeah, like I said the other night when I was talking about my friend whose father passed away. If you haven't done it, Call somebody you love. Call somebody you love and tell them you love them. If you can actually see them face to face, give them a hug. Just squeeze the crap out of them. Tell them you love them. Tell your kids you love them, even when they're driving you nuts. Today, tell them you love them. Call your mom, call your dad. If they're still living, tell them you love them. Your brothers, your sisters, tell them you love them. Your spouse. I don't care if they did squeeze the toothpaste wrong in the tube. Tell them you love them. Because like I say, sometimes you just never know what's going to happen. Tell them you love them. Absolutely. Tell them you love them. Okay. It's top of the hour, and let us shift gears a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Tell your pets you love them. Absolutely. Especially the cats. The cats need some love right now. No cat hate, daggone it. Anyway, it's top of the hour. Let me do a real quick commercial, then we'll move on to some other things, including some memes and an apology for some memes, but I'll explain that momentarily. If you've happened on this live stream, welcome to the hump day version of Chattin on the Porch, a live stream that we do when we talk about the news in the evenings. We're on Rumble, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please do me some favors. Give me a sub. Would love to have you become part of Fedora Nation. We are that close to 1,000 on YouTube. We are that close to 250 on Rumble. And for everybody who is subscribed, God bless you. Thank you so much. Why you put up with me, I have no idea. I think you have some kind of weird, he's trying real. He's got no talent. He's no good at what he does, but he's trying real hard. So I think I'll stick around and see what he screws up next. But no, seriously, thank you for everybody who has subscribed to my channel, and YouTubers, check your subscriptions. That's all I'm saying. Hit the thumbs up, leave some comments in chat, share the link around, do all that fun stuff that helps grow the channel, and let's make this going little concern a going big concern. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit and move it to a different place, hopefully more appropriate now, because like I said, there's certain things I want to keep separate, and doing the merry meme section of the show and then going right into a conversation about 9/11, I didn't see that working out too good. So yeah, by all means, let's talk about some memes. Now here's where I need to apologize if she is watching this. Doc McCutcheon, okay, I owe Doc McCutcheon an apology. Doc McCutcheon sent me a whole bunch of memes on Monday, and being the dipstick that I am, I didn't check my email until after the show was over, and she sent a slew of absolutely hysterical memes that are all very timely, even now, all very newsworthy, even now, and I have to give my apologies to Doc McCutcheon for not checking my email earlier and having these for Monday night. And I replied to her, I said, crap, my apologies for not seeing this sooner. So Doc, if you're watching this, my apologies for not getting these up sooner. So there you go. Anyway, with that, let us shift gears. Folks, look, Donald Trump is bringing all kinds of people to his coalition. He's bringing Republicans. He's bringing conservative Republicans, moderate Republicans. He's bringing Democrats. He's bringing conservative Democrats. He's bringing disaffected liberals. He's bringing blacks. He's bringing whites. He's bringing everybody. And now he's got a new constituency out there that is standing up and is ready to go support Donald Trump. He's got the cat vote, baby. I'm telling you right now, after laying down the truth in the debate the other night, I am very sure he's probably going to take 80 to 90% of the feline vote in the United States of America. And not just the feline vote, by the way. Let me tell you something. Feline and the fowls. The Ducks are coming out in favor of Donald Trump. Okay? The Ducks are coming out in favor of Donald Trump. And, this is a fascinating phenomenon. I am telling you right now, there is something happening in America. And, dear, I saw your comment. I'm sure they were. But I got some analysis and some information. They might want to put themselves up short. I'm just saying. Just hang on, because, weeping, as the good book says, weeping endures for the night and joy cometh in the morning. And I'm not saying joy is guaranteed, but I'm not so sure that the night was as dark as a lot of us thought. Don't get me wrong. I got some analysis on that, but I'm not so sure. Yeah, I mean, here, you got cats voting for Trump. You got the Ducks voting for Trump. Now you got, Jimmy Dore and Matt Walsh hanging out together and agreeing on stuff. What the heck, man? We are heading for the end times. Where's Seabass when I need him? Anyway, so what else have we got here? And by the way, I just want y'all to know, messages are being sent out all over the place that, this is the feline vote in America is trying to get the message out to Trump. I don't know how effective it's going to be using a 3-legged robot to do it, but I'm just saying, messages are being sent. WWG1's like, dogs and cats sleeping together. It's mass hysteria. Bill Murray from Ghostbusters. I know. Yeah, you read my mind, dude. You know the line I'm going for. The end. Zippy says the end is nigh. Rapture has come. Seabass is baked cod. Wow. TBA's like, we need Obi-Wan Kitty OB. Okay, there you go. So yeah, messages are being sent out by all means possible. And apparently, and some of the messages are very simple and straightforward. I mean, for example, some people are using an Astrotech droid. This guy's just, he's sitting down in front of a camera, so it's just, he's like, hey, I don't want to be at dinner. Can you help me out here? So there you go. Anyway, and apparently there is some good news in this regard. There is good news. Apparently Trump's getting the message. There's a lot of activity going on. And if you wonder what I'm talking about, look, activity's going on. A picture got snapped the other day of Donald Trump in action. I mean, I don't know. Those cats look like they're a lot happier than when they were in their previous situation. So there you go. TBA over on Rumble says, I heard JD Vance was encouraging the cat memes. I don't know, but I'm just saying. Okay, hang on. Midmo just sent me something. Let me take a look at this. Hang on. What is this here? Okay, that's interesting. We might take a look at that here in a second. Hang on, let me just peruse this real fast. Hang on. Okay, we will talk about this. I have not seen this anywhere else, but you know what? You sent it. We'll talk about it. I'll put it up later on the show. So, oh, I know. And this is the part that absolutely makes you just crazy. We have them under temporary protected status. You cannot deport them. Anyway, all right, let me take this down. Now, also, the doc sent me a couple other things. Apparently, in light of what's going on in the state of Ohio, Ohio has changed its state flag. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet or not, but wow, things are getting. I don't know. Do you guys think this design is going to work? I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know if it's got quite the flair or the panache of the Gadsden flag, but supposedly it's being kicked around the Ohio legislature to change the state flag to this. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And it's getting really kind of serious. There's all kinds of interesting. Apparently, some restaurants even Some restaurants are even getting in on this. Chick-fil-A's thinking about changing their motto. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Crazy times indeed. Absolutely. I don't know if this advertising plan is going to work. I don't know. This marketing plan is just not. I don't know, guys. Looks kind of sus, as the kids say these days. It looks kind of sus. Okay. And all right, for all of those memes and all that good stuff, I want to thank Doc McCutcheon. So again, apologies, Doc, that I did not get these up Monday evening. So there you go. Thank you for all that. Oh, by the way, have you heard that Kamala Harris is going to be put on the another magazine cover in the near future? That's right, folks. And I don't know who's helping her with her fashion consulting in these matters, but they've got an outfit for her that I don't know. Guys, what do you think? Is this going to work out for Kamala if they put this on a magazine cover? Vogue, maybe Vanity Fair, Cosmopolitan or Cosmo or whatever. I don't know. I don't know about this. What do you guys think? I mean, it's very classic. It's a classic look. I give you that. But I don't know that sub headline. TBA says, "Oh, it's good, but it won't work for Cosmo." Well, okay, so Cosmo is out. Zippy with another Rumble rant. Thank you very much, Zippy. He says, "Heads will blow." Yeah, well, he could be right. Could be right. I don't know which magazine was going to put her on the cover in this outfit, but just saying. Oh, so the color of the dress doesn't work. Well, okay, all right. Oh, so it should go on Vanity Fair. Okay, all right, okay. See, our audience, as always, the smartest audience on the internet, weighing in on this matter of great national importance. So so I take it we're saying Vanity Fair in this outfit. Maybe change the color of the dress, but otherwise we're going for well. TBA says she ought to go on the cover of the Atlantic in that outfit. I don't know. Or see, I don't think the New York Post would do it. TBA, I really don't. Even though Rupert Murdoch is probably madly in love with Kamala, I don't see him putting that on. Well, no, wait a minute. He might. They might do it. He's known for colorful front page pictures on the Post. So maybe so. We shall see. What else have we got here by way of merry memes? Oh, God. This one is not actually a meme, but it may as well be for all the traction that it is getting right now. Have you guys seen this image today? When this thing got around the internet, I can't tell you how many different people on Twitter and other places posted this. Okay. And look, I am telling you right now, contrary to what you might think, if you have not seen this yet, contrary to what you might think, this is not AI. It's not. It's not AI. Swear to you, it's not. As a matter of fact, I got a story here in just a second that will verify this is not AI. Oh, now, Brian, you ought to know better than to start flipping tabs before you've. Yeah, this is not AI, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. You thought of me? Oh well. First of all, I've been thought of, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you were thinking of me when you saw this on Twitter. This is an actual photo. Now, if you're wondering what's the story behind this one, from the pages of the New York Post, we've got the following. Headline: Biden dons Trump hat in visit to Shanksville, Pennsylvania fire station on 9/11 anniversary. Okay. Now, give me 1 second here because I'm pretty sure that I have got the video that goes along with this. Yeah, Shanksville. Good evening, Ruben. Come on. Tell me that I had the good sense to retweet this thing. Oh, come on. I think I can find it real fast. This is absolutely priceless. Come on, tell me. Come on. Where's the video? Oh, here. Okay, good. I found Benny's feed. Okay, guys. Now let me set this up. Okay. This is absolutely going to crack you up. Let me go back to that story from the New York Post and to kind of put this together. Yeah, and I've got the one from with the rear view. So we'll get to that in a second. Headline: President Biden briefly put on a red Trump hat Wednesday during a visit to a fire station in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where he mingled with first responders after marking the 23rd anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks. I'm proud of you, you old fart, the Trump supporter who handed the president his red Trump 24 hat told Biden in video obtained by conservative influencer Benny Johnson. Okay, that's the setup. All right. So with that, let's go to the video. And guys, like I say, this is hysterical in so many different ways. All right. So here's Biden. Here's gentleman right here. And if you can't hear what they're saying, there's along the bottom, you'll hear the wording. So here we go. You want my autograph? Biden says. The guy's like, hell no. Anyway, let's continue. Biden's like, I ain't going that far. No, forget it. This is great. There he goes. I'm proud of you now. Hey, they're good. They're good. You got the fried chicken. I don't know if you like. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who's a sucker and a loser now? Great point. You old fart. I know. You gotta love Pennsylvania people. You gotta love me. Yeah. WWG1 says, reminds me of when Biden said with Jill at his side, let's go, Brandon. Oh, God. Now, TBA asks a very interesting question, and we're going to get back to his question here in a minute. But let me get through the rest of this. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is hysterical. Biden, again, let me put the picture up here. He's wearing a Trump hat. Hey, the American people have got more steel in their spine, some of them, than most people want to admit to. But look at this. All right. back to the article from the New York Post. Okay. Here we go. Footage of Biden, 81, donning the hat was quickly shared by the Trump-Vance campaign, and the White House later confirmed that, yes, the president had tried on the headwear in the spirit of bipartisanship. Now, to that end, there is a tweet from Andrew Bates, who's a senior deputy press secretary, and Andrew Bates posted the following. Oh, no, wait, that's not the one I want. Hang on, sorry. Here it is. At Shanksville Fire Station, POTUS spoke about the country's bipartisan unity after 9/11 and said we needed to get back to that. As a gesture, he gave a hat to a Trump supporter who then said in the same spirit, POTUS should put on his Trump cap. He wore it briefly. Yeah. Yeah, bipartisanship. Uh-huh. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Uh-huh. Yeah. He came to his senses. Thank God. Free at last. Free at last. Yeah. Oh, Midmo. Dude, this thing has gone freaking viral. It is just ridiculous. Absolutely it's gone viral. Viral, memed. Oh, dude, it is just straight crazy. Let's go something. Yeah, exactly. Oh, good. All right. So getting back to the New York Post article. Okay. Supporters of the Republican nominee were less magnanimous. Quote, Kamala did so bad in last night's debate, Joe Biden put on a Trump hat, the Trump War Room said on Twitter, and on it goes. Now, I'll forego the rest of the article, but, well, as I understand it, Gypsy, as I understand this was a fire station near Shanksville, and apparently he was there as part of 9/11 events that he was going to take part in. That's my understanding of it. Now, if somebody's got something more specific than that, lay it on me. Yeah, it was a firehouse. Exactly. Now, I want to go back to a question over on Rumble that TBA said. Okay. And he asked this, is Biden supporting Trump now? Okay. I'm not trying to be conspiratorial with what I'm about to say next. However, did Biden not realize what putting that hat on was going to do? Now, look, I know this guy's got problems, okay? I know that he's got cognitive issues. That said, you cannot tell me he had no idea what wearing that hat was going to do. All he needed to do was have that on his head for basically 3 or 4 seconds, which is just about how long he wore it for. Okay. For it to do exactly what it's doing right now. If I had to guess, somewhere in the bowels of the Harris Walls campaign headquarters, you got senior campaign staff that are absolutely chewing on pillows, crying in blankets, tearing their clothes, whatever. It's a mixture of pissed off and sad all at the same time. Now, they might be like Andrew Bates, the senior deputy press secretary at the White House. Well, this was an attempt at bipartisanship, and this was an attempt at trying to reach out to the other side. BS. Joe Biden is enough of an experienced politician that he could have sidestepped the whole, I'm not going to put on the hat. Okay? Ruben, brother, I absolutely agree with you 100%. He knew exactly what he was doing. And to go to your point further, yeah, there's no love lost between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And that was before the campaign ever started. That was before Biden ever dropped out. I mean, look, everybody, conveniently glosses over what I'm about to say next, but it's quite true. It was discussed probably in late 2023. Should Kamala Harris be replaced as the VP candidate on the ticket? So anybody that says that Joe Biden has got some, deep down in his heart, love and affection for Kamala Harris and really, cares and makes sure she wants to succeed in this thing, I ain't buying it. Okay. Yeah, this is a great question. Where were his handlers? You mean they let this guy hand the president? Look, I don't care who you are. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, whoever. You don't just sit there and you hand the president something, okay? That just doesn't work. Not like that. So yeah, Joe Biden knew exactly what he was doing. Exactly. TBA says somewhere in the Harris Walls campaign, somebody's shitting a brick. I'd say you're right. Do you know how many different places that image and that story has now wound up? Yeah, I'm reading it from the New York Post. TheHill.com has covered it. I haven't checked Politico, but I almost guarantee you they've got a story on it. Rhonda, you might be onto something. Like a narcissistically injured person. Yeah. And that's a good point too, Midmo. That's a real, and again, I am not trying to be conspiratorial about this. I'm really not. But every so often, Biden or one of the people in the White House will do something that absolutely undercuts what Kamala Harris and her campaign are trying to do. Karine Jean-Pierre goes up to the podium and says, why, yes, Kamala Harris has been a vital part of Joe Biden's administration for the past 3.5 years. She's been right by his side in lockstep, helping him get his agenda done, where Harris is out there trying to convince everybody that she has nothing to do with Joe Biden or his agenda or anything. Now you've got Joe Biden wearing a MAGA hat. Seriously, I am really convinced. I'll never be able to prove it. I will never be able to prove it, but I am convinced right down to the soul of who I am, Joe Biden is trying to put the screws to her. Not overtly, not out in the open, but every so often he'll do something or say something that you sit there and you go, why, with friends like this, who needs enemies? I'm serious about this, guys. I really do believe it. Never be able to prove it, but I genuinely believe it. So yeah, that is all over the place right now. It's not a meme, an actual, genuine, honest-to-God photo of Joe Biden wearing a Donald Trump hat. Possible. Possibly. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. True. Yeah, and this, and honestly, Gypsy, this makes sense. This makes perfect sense. He's still mad about it. Look, I was talking to my buddy Smiling Jack today. And I said something to him, and we both were like, yeah, that's absolutely true. Have you ever thought about the fact that Donald Trump gives people permission to say what they're really thinking? Not that thought is necessarily original to me or anybody. There are other people who said it. But if you really stop and consider for a moment, when Donald Trump says something, has he not given the freedom to a lot of people to say what they're really thinking, but they just can't bring themselves to say it? Example, hey, Joe Biden hates her. Or something, or Or hey, I've seen reports, Haitians are eating cats and family pets in Springfield, Ohio. What are we doing here? Oh, that's not true. Blah, 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 blah. But everybody knows what's going on, except the people in the press who don't want to admit it, which we'll get to some of that here momentarily. I mean, it just is amazing. Now, speaking of Trump, and to close out this little segment, about the hat, you kind of got to wonder if maybe Joe Biden didn't watch this clip from the debate last night.
Now, in fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy, but if she ever got elected, she'd change.
Tell me, was Joe channeling that thought when he put the hat on? Yeah, you can't blame Biden for being pissed. If I had been blackmailed out of a presidential race as the sitting incumbent, and all I'm doing for the next 3 or 4 months, aside from going on vacation anytime I feel like it, is stewing in my own juices, yeah, I'd be pissed too. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Now, there were other things going on, and there were other people participating in 9/11 events, which I got a couple of clips here. This one is just nothing short of extraordinary. Did you guys see up in New York City today, the 9/11 memorial? This is a gathering that happens obviously every year on this date. And, very many famous politicians attend this. But the reaction, now keep in mind, what you're about to see is the day after a presidential debate where Kamala Harris, according to the pundits and folks in the journalistic community, where Kamala Harris, whipped Donald Trump from pillar to post. I want you to watch the reaction that Donald Trump gets at this gathering, this memorial to remember 9/11. Watch this. Let me back this. Hang on. Let me back this down a little bit. Here we go. See that wink? He knows people are yelling his name. He says, "Thank you." Kamala's trying to wave. They ain't pointing the cell phones at Kamala. They're pointing them at Trump. We need you. He won. Trump, we love you. This is amazing. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Well, yeah, I know you guys can believe that. Do I have it? I can probably get it real quick. Only take me a second. Okay, yeah. Let me see what I can do. Give me just a second here. Okay, go back to something. Good evening, Robert. Glad to have you here, brother. I saw your comments earlier. Let's see. Yeah, Annie, and Trump's a New Yorker too. TBA over on Rumble says Bloomberg is looking ragged. Well, he's getting long in the tooth. That is for sure. Biden knows Kamala. Oh God, y'all are awful. All right, hang on. Let me see if I can find this handshake real quick. Give me 1 second here. Okay. All right. I saw that one. Kamala won the handshake last night in terms of being the aggressor. Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree with that. I will agree with that. Hang on. Let me see if I can find this clip real quick. I think I can find this real fast. Gypsy, give me 1 second here. Are you all right? All right, Gypsy. Are you talking about from the debate last night? Or are you talking about from the ceremony today? Just to make sure I'm looking for the right thing. You know. No way. No, they may say it, but I just don't buy that one. I just don't buy it. Gosh, how gauche. Drinking like I'm drinking a Coors Light or something, man. What's the matter with me? See, yeah. So just to make sure, Gypsy, am I looking for the one where they shook hands today at the ceremony, or from last night? Just so I'm on the same page with you. No. The one from today or the one from last night? Anywho, while I'm today. Oh, okay. All right. I think I've got it here. Hang on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I've got the one. Yeah, I got the one you're talking about. Let me pull this up real quick. Hang on. Yeah, here it is. All right, let me stop this real quick. Go back to the very beginning and read this. Rare sighting of Trump, Vance, Kamala, Biden, Bloomberg, and Schumer standing side by side in New York today for the 9/11 memorial. Kamala and Trump even exchanged a friendly handshake. Makes you wonder how great this nation would be if they weren't. Also, you can hear New Yorkers cheering for Trump. All right. This happens very briefly. Now, here's Bloomberg. Here's Trump. Here's Kamala. Okay. And watch this. They shake hands. And Bloomberg's trying to set it up. Very interesting. Yeah. Very interesting indeed. Really? Huh. I've got to go back and hear their logic on that one, because I'm not, maybe they're right. Maybe they're absolutely right. I just can't see it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for that one, Gypsy. So yeah, there were other things going on. Oh crud. Don't tell me I just got rid of that. Oh, daggone it. Do not tell me. Oh, daggone it. I'm having one of those nights, folks. Give me a second here. Yeah, I definitely stayed up too late last night. Find the one I was looking for. Oh yeah, this one's kind of cool. Give me a second here, folks. I gotta find the ones from New York City, because these are just too cute. Da, 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 da. Come on. Almost there, folks. Sorry about this. I accidentally clipped out of something that I shouldn't have. Yeah, here we go. This is the one I was looking for. This one's really cute. Genuinely cute. So Donald Trump, after the 9/11 ceremony, went to fire station number 15 in New York City, and this is just a genuinely sweet moment, okay? Listen to this little exchange. So here's Trump. Here's a couple of youngsters right there. Watch this. There is no way in the world Kamala Harris could do that. There ain't no way. Okay? It's just not going to happen. She couldn't pull it off. She can't. Look, I don't care what the press tries to convince everybody. That man is genuinely beloved by a lot of people. He's not as hated as we are tried to be made to believe. When I see stuff like that, what? Well, I'm not surprised by this. I haven't seen it, but I'm not surprised by it. Not at all. And I can just hear the dad. I can just hear the dad right now looking at the mom going, "You are never going to wash that off our kid. Okay? I don't care. You are never going to wash that off our kid. We're going to take him to a tattoo parlor right now, and we're going to have that tattooed all over him, but you are never going to, well, you're not going to wash it out till we get it tattooed." I could absolutely see it happen. Crazy. But yeah, there were various things that were done today to kind of mark and commemorate. But yeah, Trump's just tooling around New York City, checking out what's going on, stopping in at firehouses, taking the time to talk to firefighters, etc. And genuinely some touching moments throughout the day. Truly. All right. It is, oh gosh, it's 8:40. Jeez, time is flying by on me. So I'll tell you what, let's shift gears and first of all, let me make sure I'm not missing anything, because I know people are shooting stuff over to me. Let's see. Make sure I've got everything, or I am getting everything. Okay. All right. I think I'm caught up. All right. Let me do a real quick commercial. We'll shift gears here, because we got to talk about some post debate thoughts, and I've got to get into it. Yes. Hit that like button before you leave, daggone it. My name is Brian Trippett. I'm the Front Porch Conservative, and this is Chattin on the Porch. We get together Monday through Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern on Rumble, on Twitter, on YouTube. So please do me a favor. As always, subscribe. Also, hit the thumbs up, leave some comments, share the link, tell your friends. And with that, let's move on. All right, the debate. They say that time brings perspective, and I've got mixed thoughts about what happened last night. Okay. And you guys know me well enough to know I'm always going to be as honest with you as I possibly can be. Okay. I still stand by what I said. I don't think Donald Trump last night performed in that debate as well as he could have. I think there are things he should have hammered home that he didn't even touch. I think there's stuff that he was given an opportunity to talk about and really didn't hit it as hard as he could. And again, it's real easy for me to sit here and criticize the man. I'm not the one up on a national stage with 60 million people watching me, debating, one-on-one an opponent like Kamala Harris. And I give her credit. The woman came prepared. Yeah, here's one thing absolutely should have been talked about last night. I don't think Trump did as well as he could have. She came prepared. And I'm not saying Trump didn't come unprepared. I just don't think he hit the points he really needed to hit. I do believe, genuinely I do believe, him having the last word in that debate was his saving grace. I mean, I'm not going to go back necessarily and go over clips from the debate. I mean, God knows you guys have been watching them all day long on various other channels, okay? I mean, I could do it, but it just, to me, seems kind of pointless. But there is one fascinating phenomenon that's happened post-debate that I think really needs to be talked about. And it's this. I'm really starting to wonder if Kamala won the battle, and in winning the battle, didn't even achieve any objectives for which she fought the battle. Now, what am I talking about? I will go back to what I said last night. I think on points, if that debate last night was a boxing match, okay, on points, she beat Donald Trump. She didn't score an absolute knockout. She didn't put him on the canvas for a 10 count. She didn't score a technical knockout either. But by the same token, she did win the debate on points. Now, what do I mean by points? In terms of the sound bites or the emotional moments or the everything else, yeah, I think she won the debate. But the problem for her is it's not moving the needle. And as a matter of fact, how she won the debate last night may have wound up, and it's still early, yet to be determined, how she won the debate last night may have wound up costing her with undecided voters. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet today, and if you haven't, this is absolutely fascinating what's going on here, okay? Okay? I want to play you various clips, but I've got to show you some stuff here that is just, to me, absolutely mind-boggling, okay? This is from CNN last night. Oh, let me find it here. No, I'm sorry. This is from Fox News today. This is from Fox News. They did a panel of undecided voters, okay? I want you guys to listen to this. Listen to what this young man who's speaking says.
I thought it was interesting when asked directly by the moderators, Kamala, the vice president, didn't even make an effort to defend the administration's immigration policies at all. She can't. It's indefensible. So she pivoted and she deflected, and I thought successfully. But they totally rewrote all of Trump's immigration policies year one, first 100 days. I would have liked to have seen an explanation for the country as to why they did that.
That's an undecided voter, folks. Sounds, if I had to guess, one of two things. Either he's not going to vote at all, or if he does, he's going to pull the lever for Trump. And this is a great point. They never fact-checked her once, and everybody could see it. Danced around the top. Yeah, this is another good point. Danced around top. I got a clip here from Jake Tapper at CNN. I'm telling you what, when you get to the point that you're losing Jake Tapper over at CNN, kids, you got a problem. And I'm pretty sure I've got this clip pulled up. But it's stuff like this that just absolutely blows your mind. Let me show you something else. People were doing instant polling last night, snap polls. C-SPAN of all places, asked the question, who do you think won the ABC presidential debate? Have you seen this? Out of 100,000 people who respond to this question, 3-1, they think Trump won. Now, C-SPAN, as you might expect, is a little more, their audience is a bit more, how do I want to put this? A little more policy focused. You could probably make an argument moderate to conservative. But yeah. Oh, yeah, let's see. I've only seen one poll. Hang on to that thought. Hang on to that, Minmo. I got something for you here. TBA over on Rumble says it's not moving the needle because she lied her ass off. Every soundbite is a lie, and all the media will rip it to shreds. The alt media. Yeah, I agree with you. WWG1S, did BET TV even do a poll? No idea. Couldn't tell you. Yeah, C-SPAN's kind of like the academic types. That's probably a good way to describe it. That's probably a real good way to describe it. But even beyond C-SPAN, I got a story here from Reuters. This'll blow your mind. Look at this. This is Reuters. From some undecided voters not convinced by Harris after the debate with Trump. Article by Helen Koster and Tim Reed. We've got the following. Kamala Harris was widely seen as dominating Tuesday's presidential debate against Republican former President Donald Trump. But now listen to this. A group of undecided voters remain unconvinced that the Democrat vice president was the better choice. Reuters interviewed 10 people who were still unsure about how they were going to vote in the November 5th election before watching the debate. 6 of them afterwards said they would now either vote for Trump or were leaning toward backing him. 3 said they would now back Harris, and 1 was still unsure. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize what Reuters is saying here? Trump is winning the undecideds 2-1 from people who watched this debate. If they were undecided voters, okay, they're coming away 2-1. The undecideds are swinging to Trump. Of the people who watched this debate, and trust me, by the time all the clips circulate through Twitter and every other place, people are going to see what happened here. I think what's the initial number from Nielsen, I think is like 58 million people watched that debate. It'll get higher than that probably in the next 72 hours. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Rich Barris, the unofficially, well, he's not the unofficially favorite pollster of the Front Porch. He is the favorite pollster of the Front Porch. He's doing polling on this right now. He's finding the same thing as Reuters. 55-60% of the people who he is surveying post-debate, if they were undecided, they're coming to Trump. Basically, what she's done is the way in which she answered questions, the looks on her face, the everything else, she's pissed people off. And now it's coming back to haunt her. Hang on, I got a few more things here. Okay, here's one reaction. Now, I'm going to warn you in advance. This lady uses some wordy dirds. So if you have certain sensibilities to your ears, you might want to plug your ears for this next little bit, but you got to hear this reaction. Listen to this.
The presidential debate last night was the biggest load of bullshit that I have seen in a very, very, very long time. I think it's pretty damn obvious why Kamala Harris insisted upon having the debate on ABC. Because those motherfuckers were biased as fuck. And it wasn't enough for her to have the debate on a biased news channel with the assistance of 2 fucking moderators. This unscrupulous heifer still had to find a fucking way to cheat. Look at her earring. Look at that shit. Does this shit look familiar? Yeah, it's an audio earring. Here's another clip of it.
Okay, now I'm going to stop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a certain amount of verification to what she has said. Somebody last night was able to catch some of the audio that she was receiving, and we've got it. Okay. Never let it be said that the electronic front porch is not here delivering the information that you need to know. Somebody caught clips of what she was getting in those magic earrings of hers. And, because we love you so much, we're going to play some of it right here. Check this out.
All right, Kamala, let's stick to the script and not go off the rails like the other guy, okay? I'm hitting in a tiny little earpiece in your ear. We put these gaudy earrings off to throw off the morons. So just act natural and don't touch your ear, and we should be able to get away with this, okay? Wow, are we really going to go with I was born a poor black child right off the bat? All right, I was raised as a middle-class kid.
Was raised as a middle-class kid. So Donald Trump has no plan for you.
Okay, good.
And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about...
Wait, you just said he doesn't have a plan. Does he have a plan or not?
What I describe as an opportunity economy. And the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans.
Reviewed our relative plans? What does that even mean?
What Goldman Sachs has said. is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse.
Would make the economy worse?
She doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences. Like,
I mean, he's not wrong.
Run. 4 sentences that
We haven't finished the website yet. Give us a break. We had to change everything at the last minute.
Plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Mr. President, I do want to drill down on something you both brought up. The Vice President brought up your tariffs. You responded, and let's drill down on this because your plan is what she calls is essentially a national sales tax. Your proposal calls for tariffs, as you pointed out here, on foreign imports across the board. You recently said that you might double your plan, imposing tariffs up to 20%.
You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling American chips to China.
What American chips? Like
improve and
Ruffles,
modernize
Lay's?
their military, basically sold us out when a policy about
we kinda
China
gave
should
them a
be
bunch
in
of
making
weapons.
sure the United States of
We might
America
want to ease up
wins
on
the
this subject.
competition for the
We don't have a
21st
case here.
Okay, folks. I mean, I could keep on going with this, but it's now indisputable. Okay, you've heard the audio for yourself. It's been documented. We've got it. She was getting help. Okay, just there's no doubt. There's no doubt. You heard it for yourselves right here on the Electronic Front Porch. We're bringing it to you, the late breaking as always. Okay, so that heifer, she. Oh my gosh. I'll play you a little bit more of this lady, and I'll tell you what, you talk about turning it loose. Here's a few more seconds of this.
Only was it 3 against 1 on a biased channel, but she also had to have the assistance of an earpiece. So someone was telling her what the fuck to say.
And we heard it, didn't we, folks?
And for the record, the migrants, the Haitian migrants, are in fact eating the animals. So let's not pretend that Trump is saying some crazy ass shit. And for a party that claims to be so fucking woke, the media is manipulating your ass and you're fucking falling for it. When the migrants land on your front doorstep, don't complain.
Okay, now I'm going to stop right there. And I mean, this lady is absolutely on fire. I'm going to drop this in chat on both sides because if you want to hear the rest of this for yourself, I really recommend it to you. Okay. Now, with that, speaking of the migrants, have you got, dear M169, this one's for you, darling. We have a announcement that Governor DeWine is sending state troops into Springfield, Ohio, along with millions of dollars in funding to address the Haitian migrant crisis. Quote, the federal government has not demonstrated that they have any kind of plan to deal with this issue. This is from the proclamation from Governor DeWine. Today announced new state support for the city of Springfield, which is dealing with significant stress on its healthcare and public safety systems due to the influx of thousands of Haitian migrants over the last several years. Quote, I want the people of Springfield and Clark County to know that as we move forward, we will continue to do everything we can to help the community deal with this surge of migrants, said Governor DeWine. The federal government has not demonstrated that they have any kind of plan to deal with this issue. We will not walk away. The influx of Haitians to Springfield and Clark County has significantly impacted local primary care providers due to the increased number of patients and the need for more translation services. In general, migrants from Haiti have had little to no healthcare services prior to arriving in the United States, including vaccinations. And that's a point nobody's really talking about in earnest. Okay? Look, we kind of take it for granted here in the United States that we just sort of work from the assumption, okay, you come to this country, you got your vaccine. No. Who knows what they have or don't have as far as vaccinations, or for that matter, who knows or doesn't know what kind of diseases they have? You know. Well, Governor DeWine is not exactly a memorable sort of fellow. I can understand why you forget that you have a governor. DeWine is definitely, yeah. Anyhow, continuing. To address the increase in dangerous driving in Springfield by inexperienced Haitian drivers and all others who disregard traffic laws, Governor DeWine has directed the State Highway Patrol to support Springfield Police Department with traffic enforcement beginning tomorrow morning. OSHP troopers will patrol local roads with the highest crash rates and hold accountable any driver who drives erratically and risks the safety of others. Yeah, I believe the kids have an expression for what's going on in Springfield right now. Shit getting real. As I say, that's the expression that the kids use. Okay. Yeah, it's just really kind of amazing what's going on. Now, back to the question of the debate. Folks, I'm really starting to wonder and have where is it? Do not tell me. Do not tell me. Dang it. I thought I had saved these and I don't. Crap. But yeah, I mean, Dr. Phil, I encourage you to go look at the clips on Twitter. His audience is like, she's not explaining anything. She's not telling anything. There was a CNN focus group after the debate. There's a very famous young lady who's like, she's not telling me anything. She's not explaining why I should vote for her. You know, I mean, and to give you an idea how bad it's going, when you're losing Jake Tapper, that ought to tell you everything you all know. If you have not seen this clip, check this out.
Vice President Harris began the debate by punting the first question on the economy.
Do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid, and I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America.
It went on from there. Despite the economy being the number one issue facing the country, the sitting vice president generally reverted to talking points about a few of her policy proposals. Even Harris allies today are saying that she needs to talk more about what she will do for Americans if elected. Senator Bernie Sanders will be here in a second to talk about more about the need for her to fill in some of those blanks. On the border, another vulnerable issue for Harris, she also dodged.
Would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings.
Okay, that wasn't the question. When asked how she would break through the Israel-Hamas war stalemate, Harris said this.
We need a ceasefire deal and we need the hostages out. And so we will continue to work around the clock on that.
Okay, but again, how? Vice President.
Okay. Yeah, smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. I agree, Gypsy. I really do. Guys, I mean, look. Did she win on points? Did she have good sound bites? Did she have, yeah. Did Trump have a bad night? I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, he did. He did not perform well. Okay. And again, I think part of that goes back to the expectations that were put on him from what happened with Joe Biden. Joe performed so badly, everybody thought Trump was going to just come in and mop the floor with her. She was going to come to this thing prepared. She did. She didn't give good answers. She didn't answer anybody anything. But yeah, she at least got through it. So when she walks off the stage, she goes, whew. So Brian, and this is from TBA over on Rumble. So Brian, how can you say she won on points? You've seen yourself. She had 0 points. When I say points, what I'm referring to is this: style points, sound bites. Does she have any substance to what she's saying? Heck no. Heck no. Not an ounce of substance whatsoever. But does she try to get the good sound bite? Does she try to get that, Vladimir Putin would eat you for lunch? Those kind of lines? Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Now, if you're talking about substance, Donald Trump was talking issues all night long. I do think that there were moments that she baited him. The moderators baited him. He sometimes took the bait, got a little distracted in some places. So, I mean, look, I love Donald Trump. I love him. I want to see the man back in the White House. But I'm not going to sit here and just, blindly, say, oh, Trump is just perfect. He never gets anything wrong. No, if he gets one wrong, or he doesn't do something right, or he screws something up, or doesn't perform as well as he could, I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly what I think. God help you if you ain't ready to hear it, but I'll tell you what I think. And I just, personally, I think he could have done better. But then again, it's real easy for me to say that. I'm not the one standing up there doing it. So, but the idea that she somehow changed the trajectory of the race, she may, at best, and this is just my opinion, okay, at best, she may have slowed down his momentum, but I don't know that she's changed the trajectory of the race. Okay. And again, I still think there are events hanging out there right now that are going to determine this race over which Donald Trump and Kamala Harris have little to no control. I think right now, the Springfield, Ohio story is the hottest thing going out there. And this is one of those moments where she and Joe Biden had some measure of control over what happened in Springfield. They're the ones that set this in motion, and now it's coming back to bite them. As a matter of fact, I got something here that really makes a very interesting point. Let me show you guys something. Robert Barnes pointed this out. This is from Google Trends. Okay. And this measures a period of the past 12 months, interest over time. Topic, Haitians eating pets. Look what happened in the past, well, let's just call it 72 hours for the sake of argument. The Google searches on that 3-word topic shot straight up. Absolutely straight up. And keep in mind, who was the one that said anything about Haitians eating pets? Donald Trump. So that sort of begs the question, who really won this debate last night? And Gypsy? Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying. I don't necessarily disagree with you with the word different. I don't know about weary. Maybe cautious. Somewhat on some things cautious. I don't know. I'm kind of like you. But then again, when one's mortality is staring them down the face, and the only thing that saved your life was the fact you turned your head at a split second. Yeah. WWG1 says, I think political pundits think she won on points. The rest of America doesn't think that way. They don't care about points. They just compare what she says to what's going on in their life. Bingo. That is a great point, WWG1. Right now, no one's worrying about how much style she's got. They're thinking about how am I going to put food on the table and gasoline in my car. So yeah, that is very, very true, my friend. It was a great point. Oh, here it is. I did save this. Thank God.
This debate, which was real.
Phil, will you cool it? Last night, Dr. Phil holds a panel with undecided voters in his audience, okay? I got to play some of this. This is just too good. Check this out.
This debate, which was really hyped as being a big thing, did this underdeliver or did it deliver? Did this actually mean something to you? In the back, stand up.
Hi, my name is Shelley. I'm also standing, so. I think, I came into this with an open mind. I really, really wanted Vice President Harris to hit it out of the park. I don't think she did. I think she did better than some people expected her to. The cackle was not there. I kept waiting for it, and it didn't come. but I still didn't get answers. I didn't get answers to fundamental questions that we need to know as voters. And we just keep getting circled around that.
Like what? What did you not get an answer to?
Her economic plans. What is an opportunity economy? What does that mean? Who's paying for the tax cuts that she's proposing? Because in my opinion, giving people down payment assistance on houses just drives inflation up higher. Who's paying for all of these child tax credits? That's just the taxpayers coming out of pocket and hurting the middle class again. So I don't think that we got to the meat and potatoes of the things that really matter. And we know from Donald Trump's presidency before, he can fix the economy. So I was really looking for her to make an impact on my thought process tonight, and she didn't deliver that.
Boom. WWG1, there is the evidence of what you just said. There is the evidence of what you just said. And one last point will bring this train into the station. From the inestimable Robert Barnes. Some are confused by how a poll could show Harris winning the debate but losing votes. The reason is simple. People aren't wanting a president who wins debates. They want a president who makes their lives better. That's why Trump's the true winner of the debate. He got a good point. He got a good point. Very good point. All right, let's bring this train in. Oh, goodness, guys. Your host is not going to lie. He is kind of pooped this evening, so it's going to be a quick phone call to one of my family members, and then I will be toddling off to bed, but not without saying some thank yous. First of all, thank you guys for being here tonight. You guys are awesome, as always. Yes, the wing nuts do rock. Absolutely, TBA. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Thank you guys last night for being here. You're just totally amazing and totally awesome, and I love everything about you and everything you're doing for this channel. I'll be back tomorrow night. Not quite sure of the time yet. My oldest great nephew has a baseball game tomorrow night at 5:30, so I'm going to try my best to slip up there for a little bit of it. And hopefully I'll be back here at 7:30. I will let you guys know for sure what time we're going to go live tomorrow night. But we will be back tomorrow night. We'll be here Saturday morning, too, for Front Porch Brunch. So with that, you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. I love you guys very much. Thank you, as always, for being here. Smash the like button on the way out the door. Leave some comments. Subscribe to the channel. You guys are completely awesome. Thank you so much. And remember the words of that great American philosopher, Tom T. Hall, when he said, "It's faster horses, younger lovers, older whiskey, more money." Thank you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow night.